All right, so welcome to another episode. Today we're going to take a look at Airbnb. The earnings are coming out soon, and I'm going to check that out for you, but you probably won't have enough time to trade before the earnings by the time this video comes out. But the point is to be able to get some insight, even after it pops, what can we kind of expect and some price levels to kind of watch out for. So let's take a look at that. Keep in mind, none of these are recommendations to buy, sell, or trade any stocks, just my own personal opinion. So let's kick things off. We're going to go and look at Airbnb, and if you want to grab my opinion, go to the Discord channel or go on the newsletter list on our website at Rise to Learn. And we've also got tradersfly.com. And that's also where we've got a lot of great classes coming up, one about risk arrays and option trading, which you can see. Anyway, let's go to Airbnb. We're going to go check that out. And as we take a look here recently, the stock over the last kind of 1 year, it's been a little bit choppy. So we haven't been doing too well on Airbnb. We hit kind of these upper levels around, 220, 200, and then we kind of got this double top thing going on and pulled back a bit. So let's break it down in a bit more detail. So if we go into Airbnb right here, here's what I want to show you here. If we go into the monthly chart, there's not a lot of data that you can kind of sort through, so the pricing is a little bit all over the place, but the weekly is a little bit of a nicer chart and more clean. So as I'm looking at this weekly, watch these two tops. This is technically a double top. Even though this one part does not hit perfectly, it's close enough. For a bigger stock like that, that's close enough, and that's usually good enough. So you want to be a little bit careful, because when you got into this at the beginning, you went up, came back down. This is a really tough spot because it's quite sad that a stock, it runs up so quick and then just pulls back very fast, and you're back to kind of this double bottom, almost triple bottom here, where the stock's starting to build a base at this price level. So you can see it attempted to kind of try and push into those upper levels again the second time right here, and that's where it failed again. And we came back now, retested nearly that same price level. So you can see we've just been basing right around here at about 130 to about 140. So call it about 130 to 140. It's kind of been the basing area. Now, recently, what the stock's doing is it's trying to get back into some of those higher levels, but you do have some problems here at those upper levels, which basically means now you have overhead supply. So anytime this stock is getting into higher levels, it may have a problem at rejecting. Now, one thing that earnings can do is it can actually fuel a stock and press it into higher levels. So that could be a positive thing. But unfortunately, when we go into the selling part here, the bearish volume right here does not look good and healthy. Unfortunately, this is still kind of like an app like Lyft, Uber, that kind of stuff. So it's very difficult for these kinds of stocks. Not like an oil and gas and mining company. It's a whole different ballgame. Like they have their inventory is the data that they really hold. Now, that's a bit of the issue here. So when you kind of look at into this, yeah, they're making a boatload from the housing market going up and higher and more expensive. But it's still kind of an app, right? So as we kind of look at this, it's trying to push into higher prices, but you'll probably get some resistance right here at this price level. That price level is going to be right around 185, 187. And then you'll have another level of resistance around 210. Really, it's probably more around the 200, but in the technical space, it's 210. But I say it's really more like 200 because it probably got over here a little bit with confluence, and it really was trying to reject that around 200. It's just people were euphoric about the stock. So anyway, right now we're kind of pressing into this nice channel. Watch out for this channel if it breaks down. But otherwise, if we can explode a little bit faster or higher here, a couple of those price levels to watch are right there. And I would be careful buying too high at any upper level of those resistance levels. So the better alternative, actually, if you go into something like this, the better alternative is when this thing goes down a bit, you're actually looking for it to then buy the dip or buy the bounce. That's really the better thing here in this case. So anyways, I would watch this trend to see if it holds. If we cannot hold this support right here at that level and it breaks below, I'd kind of try to see if I could get 140 or those lower levels. You could also do that by selling verticals. Even doing like a diagonal out of the money, or in the money diagonal, something, way down here, these levels, depending on how far it's going to move. Now, if you're looking at the movement on Airbnb and we look at the trade tab and we go to Airbnb, the expected move here kind of is about 17 points from the market maker move. On the 3-day options, you're looking for about 18-point move. So we'll see, so you're looking at about, 15 to 20-point move in the stock here after earnings in the next few days. So we'll see if it goes either up or down. We don't know that, but that's kind of what they're budgeting for. So anyways, these are things to watch out for. See what the news is going to have to say and why they're going to say the stock is moving up or down. But really it's irrelevant, because the only way to really know why is if you contact every buyer or seller. So long story short, take a look, see what's going to happen here with earnings. We don't know. The earnings are right around the corner. Be careful. Normally I say don't trade through earnings if you're not in the position already. And the only time you really want to trade through earnings is if you got a trade specific for earnings. And for that, you can check out the Trader Slide channel to get some ideas on some different option strategies to trade through earnings. Or the other time you hold through earnings is kind of long-term investor, where you're holding it for like 3 or 4 years, and then you're not worried about one individual earnings trade. Anyway, thanks for joining me. I will see you in the next video, maybe in the live class as well, if you decide to join. Thanks, and I'll see you next time.